Imagine taking a solid ice cube and dropping it into a warm drink. You know exactly what's going to happen, right? Every single time, without fail, the ice melts. It's a completely irreversible process. But have you ever actually stopped to ask yourself why? Seriously, think about it. Why does that ice always melt, but the warm drink never spontaneously forms an ice cube? I mean, according to the first law of thermodynamics, energy is always conserved. So, technically speaking, the scattered heat from your drink could perfectly gather itself together, jump out of the liquid, and freeze right back into a solid cube. The energy is absolutely there to do it, but it never ever happens. Natural processes only ever seem to flow in one direction. And this right here creates a literal arrow of time in our universe. By the end of this explainer, you are going to understand exactly why this happens. We'll uncover what entropy actually is, the exact formula behind it, and how it dictates not just that melting ice in your cup, but the ultimate fate of the entire universe. We'll be hitting 5 key areas: order, disorder, and entropy, the math behind entropy, energy unavailable for work, the heat death of the universe, and finally, does life break the rules? Okay, let's dive right into section 1, order, disorder, and entropy, and the arrow of time. To really grasp this core concept, we need to go right back to our melting ice. What's super interesting here is the microscopic view. Think about the solid ice for a second. It's a highly structured, perfectly orderly system of water molecules. They're locked into this neat, systematic crystal grid. But when heat transfers into that ice, it melts. It converts into liquid water, and suddenly those molecules are just randomly moving around without any fixed locations. It becomes disordered. Essentially, the universe just took a perfectly orderly system and converted it into a chaotic one. And that brings us perfectly to our formal definition. Entropy is a measurement of a system's disorder and of the unavailability of energy to do work. Now, these two concepts, disorder and unavailable energy, they are deeply, deeply linked. As a system becomes more disordered, just like our melting ice, its entropy increases. Which leads us to section 2, the math behind entropy, calculating chaos. Now that we've got the basic idea down, let's move to the formula, because in physics, we don't just describe the chaos, we calculate it. So if you're like that curious student sitting in the front row, you're probably asking right now, okay, how do we actually calculate this change in entropy? If I have a real-world system, what are the exact numbers?
Well, it's actually surprisingly straightforward if we look at reversible processes step by step. Step 1, you identify the heat transfer, which we call Q. Step 2, identify the absolute temperature, T. Now wait, pay attention here because this is a super common mistake. That temperature must be in absolute Kelvin. And step 3, you simply divide the heat transfer by the temperature. Delta S equals Q over T. If heat goes into a system, Q is positive, so entropy increases. If heat leaves, Q is negative, and that specific object's entropy decreases.
Now, the absolutely crucial point is this distinction. In a perfect hypothetical reversible process, like an ideal Carnot engine, the total change in entropy of the entire system is exactly 0. But we live in the messy real world, right? And in irreversible real processes, like a hot piece of metal cooling down in the room, the total entropy always increases. Sure, the heat lost by the metal decreases its local entropy, but the heat gained by the room increases the room's entropy by a much greater amount. Why? Because it happens at a lower temperature. The net result for the universe is always an increase in total entropy. Now let's connect this to real life. In section 3, energy unavailable for work. Let's look at this hidden tax on energy and see what this constant increase actually costs us. Okay, you might be scratching your head right now thinking, wait a minute. If the first law of thermodynamics says energy is absolutely never lost or destroyed, why do we even care if entropy increases? Why does a heat engine actually produce less work when the entropy change is greater? And this brilliantly illustrates the consequence. Let's take a classic textbook example. If we take 4,000 joules of heat and run it perfectly through an ideal engine, we get about 3,333 joules of useful work. Awesome. But if we first let that heat spontaneously transfer to a slightly colder reservoir, which is an irreversible process that creates entropy, and then run it through our engine, our work output drops to 2,400 joules. That means exactly 933 joules of energy has been permanently lost from our ability to do work. Let me clarify this, because it is so important. The energy itself isn't gone. The first law remains completely intact. Energy is not destroyed. Instead, the character of that energy has changed. Entropy acts like a hidden tax on our universe. As entropy increases, that energy becomes permanently unavailable to do work,
meaning it can no longer be converted into an organized force acting through a distance. It degrades into chaotic, totally useless heat.
So, let's take this profound concept and zoom way, way out for section 4, heat death of the universe, an absolute overdose of entropy.
Because remember, total entropy is always increasing in a closed system. Always. So, naturally, we have to ask, what happens when the entire universe simply runs out of available energy?
Well, here is how the timeline of the cosmos unfolds. In the early universe, everything was highly energetic with massive potential energy. It was a state capable of doing an enormous amount of work. Today, we exist in a middle state. We literally live off temperature differences. Stars are much hotter than planets. Earth utilizes these temporary stores of solar and geothermal energy to create weather, wind, and, well, life. But look to the distant future. As entropy relentlessly increases, stars will die. All fuels will be exhausted. Eventually, all temperatures across the entire cosmos will completely equalize. And when there are no temperature differences left, no work can be done anywhere. This is called thermodynamic equilibrium, or the heat death of the universe, an absolute overdose of entropy.
Okay, before we all have an existential crisis about the ultimate fate of the cosmos, let's bring it back down to Earth for section 5. Does life break the rules? We're going to look at evolution and entropy to address a really fascinating caveat where biology meets physics.
There's a very common myth here. People look at life, complex, incredibly highly structured living organisms evolving from simple microscopic ancestors, and they ask, doesn't this violate the second law of thermodynamics? Doesn't the sheer order of life represent a massive decrease in entropy, effectively breaking the rules of physics?
It's a great question. It really is. But the math actually provides a brilliant loophole. The total change in entropy of the universe equals the change in the local system plus the change in the environment, and that net total must always be greater than 0. The secret here is that delta S of a local system can absolutely be negative. You can decrease entropy locally, like a plant building a complex cellular structure, or even you just cleaning up your messy room, as long as you expend energy to do it. And burning that energy increases the entropy of the surrounding environment by an even greater magnitude.
Think of it like this. Earth acts as an incredibly complex heat engine. We intercept a tiny, tiny fraction of heat transfer coming from the sun, and we use it to build structure, forests, animals, entire civilizations. This creates a small, local decrease in entropy right here on Earth's biosphere. But this entirely relies on the massive heat transfer from the extremely hot sun out into the freezing cold vacuum of deep space. That enormous solar process creates an overwhelmingly massive increase in total entropy. So the universe gets more chaotic, even while Earth gets more beautifully structured. The rules of physics remain unbroken.
Before we wrap up, let's summarize the key points. This quote perfectly captures the core takeaway of our explainer today. The total entropy of a system either increases or remains constant in any process. It never decreases. This is a foundational version of the second law of thermodynamics. It dictates why heat flows from hot to cold, why engines can never be 100% efficient, and why the arrow of time points endlessly in only one direction.
But that leaves us with one final, incredibly provocative puzzle. We've talked a lot about heat, temperature, engines in the universe on a macroscopic, large scale. But if entropy is just about large-scale heat transfer, how do we explain this inevitable chaos at the level of individual, invisible atoms bouncing around? How did the brilliant physicist Ludwig Boltzmann mathematically prove this using statistical probability? Well, that is a fantastic story of authentic discovery, and it's exactly what we will tackle in our next explainer. Keep wondering, keep learning, and